Hey girls, it's Solei. Today's video is going to be a prom makeup tutorial. I absolutely love prom. I love doing makeup for prom. I love just everything about it. It is the most magical time of the year except for like Christmas. And I'm really jealous I can't go this year, so I created this look for you beauties who are. It is very romantic and smoky and gorgeous without being over the top, and I think it's going to photograph so beautifully. And I think obviously if you have colored eyes, it's really going to bring out like the greens and the blues in your eyes, but it would be great for anyone. So if you would like to know how I did this look, then just stay tuned. So my face is basically bare, and all I've done is put a tiny bit of concealer and eyeshadow primer on my lids just so that the eyeshadows have something to stick onto. For a day like prom where you have one shot at doing your makeup correctly, I totally recommend waiting to do your base until after your eye makeup just so you can ensure there's no fallout and you don't mess anything up. Going into my Naked 3 palette, I'm going to use the shade Liar on a shading brush, and this is going to start at the outer third of my lid, and I'm just going to slowly bring it into the inner corner, but stopping before, you know, it totally hits that inner corner area. Now using Neutrogena, which is a rose tinted matte brown, I'm just going to use this as my kind of starting crease color. On the inner corners of the eyes, I'm going to use the shade Strange, which is just a light kind of pink tinted white, and it really does a great job at brightening up the eye area. I have Black Heart on this tiny pencil brush, and I'm going to start creating an outer V with this shade. Now I'm going to start fairly light and really work my way up with it, just because the shade is fairly pigmented and I don't want it to get too crazy right off the bat. And of course, just blend with your preferred brush. At this point, you'll want to take a clean blending brush and just start to blend away. And honestly, this is a tricky part because you want it to be soft and hazy, but you don't want that black to get everywhere. So just keep very careful and light in this touch and mind that outer V shape. Make sure it doesn't get too lost. For eyeliner, I will be using this thin brush tip liquid eyeliner, and the reason I'm going with liquid is because I want it to be a very stark black line, but I don't want it to be too thick. It's basically going to be a base for our false eyelashes to go onto. The focus should totally be on the eyeshadow in this. For now, I'm going to leave the eyes alone and move into my face. So I'm going to do my full foundation. This is going to be a much heavier look than like a typical day-to-day kind of foundation routine, simply because you want it to be really dramatic. Right now, I am just putting on a correcting concealer underneath my eyes. So moving into foundation, today I'll be using my Neutrogena Healthy Skin Liquid Makeup, and this is in the color Classic Ivory. By the way, before I started filming this, I had already primed my skin. Priming is super important for a day like prom when your makeup needs to last, so I highly recommend it. The one that I used was from Hard Candy. It was their Sheer Envy Ultralight Formula Primer, and it is absolutely wonderful. Now, taking a buffing brush from Real Techniques, I'm just getting a little bit of excess foundation on the back of my hand here. I'm going to start putting this all over my face. Now I'm going to use a concealer from Hard Candy. This is their Glamoflauge concealer, and it's just a very full coverage, heavy duty concealer. And I'm going to use this to conceal any hyperpigmentation and acne spots that I currently have. And now just to perfectly match everything, I am taking a tiny bit more foundation and I'm going to dab that on top of the concealer just to ensure that it perfectly matches the rest of my base. If you're going to be taking photos, a great tip is to use a concealer that is too light for your skin tone, maybe like 2 to 3 shades lighter. Today I'm using the NYX HD Photogenic Concealer and this is in the color Fair. Basically, I'm going to take this and use it to draw an upside down kind of triangle underneath my eyes. And this is really going to help to brighten up this area and create a highlight and bring more life into there. Also just take it down your nose to really highlight that area as well. Once that concealer is properly blended, don't forget to immediately set it with a setting powder just to ensure it doesn't crease. For now, I'm going to give my foundation a bit of time to set on my face before I powder it, so I'm going to move back into eyes. Taking the Rose Bronze shade Liar on a pencil brush, I'm going to use this on my lower lash line, bringing it about 2/3 of the way in. Also going to take a very small amount of Black Heart and use that on the very outer corner of the lower lash line as well. For this look, I'm going to use a very small amount of my face powder as a brow bone highlight simply because the shade Strange in the Naked 3 palette is just a little bit too pink for me. But this is going to be a great matte highlight and it obviously matches your foundation perfectly. However, Strange makes a perfect inner corner highlight, so I'm going to be taking that on this tiny little brush and just popping that on the inner corners of my eyes. I'm using my favorite pencil black eyeliner and I'm going to use this to tightline my upper lash line and also use it on the waterline. I'm just going to really quickly fill in my eyebrows as well. This is the Whitening Lightning Brow Bar To Go kit. And now that my foundation has had a little bit of time to kind of set, I am just going to use a kabuki brush and my face powder to set everything off. So now into contour, and I think that prom is a great time to contour. Even if you don't normally do it, it looks fantastic in photos. The first bronzer I'm going to be using is the NYC Smooth Skin Bronzing Face Powder in Sunny, and I'm going to use a fluffy brush with this. And I'm just going to start by using this in the hollows of my cheeks. And I'm going to also use it on my temples and kind of run it up into the hairline. I'm going to take a tiny bit on this brush and just kind of pinch it so it's not quite as fat. And I'm going to use this on the sides of my nose. At this state you can do a tiny bit of blending, but I'm actually going to move into a second bronzer, so I'm not going to go overboard. Now using the Too Faced Chocolate Solei bronzer in just the regular old chocolate color, I'm going to use this on a Real Techniques contour brush. And this is going to go much more precisely in the hollows of my cheeks, and if you don't really know where this area is, it's where your cheeks will go in if you suck them in like a fish. I'm also just going to take a bit of excess into that temple as well. And now you can definitely blend. I am just taking this small brush and it has no powder or anything on it. I'm just using it to really buff out the edges and make them softer. So into blush, I'm going to use this kind of pale pink from MAC, and I'm just going to use it on a blush brush. And this is going to be very light, but it definitely is going to give some color and some kind of warmth to the cheeks. Into highlight, and normally I use a very light highlight. I love highlighting my face, but I'll use it with like a stippling brush to really kind of dull it down. Today, however, I'm going to use the MAC Mineralized Skinfinish and Lightscapade on my finger, and this way it's going to be a lot more intense. It's not going to be, you know, super frosty or like, you know, insanely noticeable, but it is going to be a bit stronger than your typical highlight. So I'm just going to use this on my cheekbones. as well as a bit down the bridge of my nose, right under the eyebrows, and also just a bit on that Cupid's bow. This is optional, but I really like to set my makeup off with a setting spray. I do it almost every single time that I do my makeup, and I just think it makes things look a lot more natural and less powdery. So this is the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. It's like literally $5, and it works just as well as any other ones I've ever used. So I'm just going to do a couple of spritz of this. At this point you can curl your eyelashes and go ahead and apply a couple of coats of your favorite mascara. And I'm using a volumizing mascara because I'm going to use false eyelashes after this, and I find that having a thicker lash line kind of helps to hide them and make them look more realistic. Don't forget to use a bit of mascara on the back of your eyelashes as well. It really helps to thicken them up as well, and just, I don't know, I think it makes them look a lot darker. I'm also going to do a bit of mascara on the lower lash line, but first I'm going to go ahead and apply my false eyelashes. These are the Ardell Glamour eyelashes in 105. As you can see, they are just super full and long, and they're perfect for prom because they add so much drama and glamour to your look. So I'm going to apply these. As you can see, those add a ton of drama and glamour to the look, so I'm just going to go and do the other eye and I'll be right back. So now I'm just going to finish everything off with lips. You could definitely use a super long wearing lip kind of product, but I'm actually just going to use this Jumbo Balm from Revlon. I think it lasts fairly long anyways. It is a matte balm and it is in the color Elusive. And now I'm going to top that off with this nude lip gloss from Whitening Lightning. Okay guys, so that is it for this prom makeup tutorial, and I really hope that you all enjoyed it and that you found it helpful. I'm going to be doing a fully drugstore prom tutorial before the end of the season, so let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see for that. Give this video a thumbs up if you did like the look, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and until my next video, I love you girls so much and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye!